In the interrogation room, the air was tense, charged with the gravity of the revelations that had just come to light. The convict, in custody, finally had the opportunity to tell her story. A narrative of forbidden love, betrayal, and a desperate search for the truth, totally different from what was presented to the people by the judge. The woman explained in a firm voice that little Bella was the fruit of a secret relationship she was having with Chukwuemeka, a married man who had promised to leave his infertile wife to be with Amaka and their daughter. However, frightened by the possibility of a scandal, he took the decision to disappear with the baby and his wife, claiming to have adopted Bella to fill the void left by their inability to have children of their own. The judge listened to this and retorted,
"Do you think I would kill my own wife and daughter to incriminate you?"
he said, laughing sarcastically during the interrogation.
"That's absurd! She's crazy! I demand to be released now!"
He shouted, his arrogant posture not hiding the tremor of fear at the possibility of being unmasked. Bella's true location remained a mystery until Amaka found out. It only took one slip for her to realize how much he had framed her. The inmate revealed a crucial detail, a memory of her time with the man who became the key to unraveling the girl's whereabouts.
When we were having an affair, we went to visit his grandparents because his grandmother was sick. He introduced me as his assistant, and we spent 3 days on that farm. It's a very isolated place. They hardly go into town because they have everything there. I was delighted with the calm of the farm and the sunsets, but Orlando hated the place. He called it hell.
The judge's words on the eve of the execution, wishing that Amaka would
Rot in hell, just like Bella.
suddenly made sense. The woman had connected the dots, realizing that the man had inadvertently revealed her daughter's hiding place. The judge tried to dismiss the accusation, insisting that Bella's grandparents had died years ago and that allegations were nothing more than the inventions of a disturbed mind. However, the determination in the woman's voice and the irrefutable logic of her argument raised enough doubts for the authorities to decide to investigate.
Just go there and you'll see. And don't let him call anyone or he'll have Bella taken away.
The prisoner warned, full of urgency. The chief of police, now faced with the possibility of a twist in the case, ordered the judge to stay put while a team of officers was sent to check the farm. The press, eager for every development, was in a frenzy at the unexpected turn of events. The world stood still, eager to understand whether Amaka's shocking claim about Bella's location and well-being would prove it true. The investigation that unfolded over the next few days was more surprising and revealing than anyone could have imagined. Keeping Chukwuemeka under strict surveillance at the police station to avoid any attempt at interference, the authorities followed the coordinates provided by Amaka to a remote farm where the truth was waiting to be discovered. When they arrived at the indicated location, they found not only Isabella, now 8 years old, but also an elderly couple who turned out to be the child's paternal great-grandparents. They told the police everything. They said that their grandson, Chukwuemeka, had come to them 5 years ago, bringing Bella, a small 3-year-old baby, on the pretext that the girl was in danger. He had instructed the grandparents to raise Isabella in secret, claiming that her safety depended on absolute secrecy.
"If anyone finds out she's here, they will hurt her,"
said the judge. The discovery of this web of lies and corruption shocked the public and triggered a wave of national indignation. The judge, once respected and considered a pillar of justice, was arrested and, after a speedy trial, sentenced to 30 years in prison for kidnapping, obstruction of justice, and a series of other crimes related to his desperate attempt to frame Amaka and hide his own nefarious deeds. The investigations revealed that he had taken advantage of his wife's tragic death in an accident, which happened while he was driving and swerved away from an animal on the road, hitting a tree to orchestrate Bella's disappearance, manipulating the evidence to point to his mistress as the culprit. His macabre plan was not only to get rid of the woman who threatened to expose his extramarital affair, but also to create a new life for himself, free from the complications of his past. When Amaka was finally acquitted of all charges, her release was greeted with applause and tears of relief from the public who had once asked for her conviction. People were shouting,
"Please forgive us,"
begging for her forgiveness. Her story, now revealed in all its complexity and tragedy, dominated the headlines, painting her not as the villain many believed her to be, but as a victim of one of the most terrible injustices ever seen.
I just want my daughter back,
She told journalists, tears of pain streaming down her face. Despite the legal victory and the vindication of her name, the pain of her forced separation from Bella still haunted her. Now, with the truth brought to light, Amaka faced the emotional challenge of rebuilding her relationship with her daughter, a healing journey they would both have to go through together. After a few weeks, mother and daughter were finally reunited after years of forced separation and suffering. Both began to weave the threads of a new life together. The little girl, now 8, learned the whole truth about her story, a tale of courage, unconditional love, and her mother's tireless fight to have her back. Unlike what Amaka thought, the little girl looked at her not just as her mother, but as a heroine who never gave up on her, even in the face of the cruelest adversity. With the compensation they received for the mistake of justice, they moved to a small house in the countryside, a peaceful refuge away from the stares and suffering that marked their lives in the city. That house, surrounded by the vibrant green of nature and the singing of birds, represented the fresh start they both longed for, a place where Bella could grow and flourish away from the shadows of her tumultuous past. But they weren't alone on this new journey. The girl's great-grandparents, the elderly couple who raised her with all their love and dedication, were invited to join them. The decision to live as a united family was a natural one. After all, they were the ones who raised the girl with all the love she needed.
What matters now is that we're together, and nothing will ever separate us again,
said Amaka, hugging her daughter tightly as they both gazed at the golden horizon of the setting sun. It was a moment of pure happiness, a symbol of her victory against all the terror she had experienced and which had tried to separate them. So, surrounded by the unconditional love of the old couple and the serene beauty of the farm, mother and daughter rebuilt their lives. Together, they overcame the scars of the past and looked to the future with optimism and joy. The story of Amaka and Bella, marked by pain and injustice, became a narrative of hope, redemption, and the indomitable power of family love. And as the sun set, painting the sky orange and pink, the woman, who had once been an inmate condemned to death, whispered a prayer of gratitude to the heavens for the gift they had been given. The chance to start again, to write new chapters of their lives, as it should always have been. A family united against all odds, ready to face whatever the future held, with hearts full of love and hope. And if you liked this story, I'm sure the next video that pops up on your screen will move you too. If you don't subscribe to my YouTube channel, I'm afraid you might not see me again. So hit the subscribe button now for more interesting stories. Thank you.